Good morning. I do have my cup of tea this morning. I'm getting caught out again. So if you're joining me live this morning, my name is Helen Jennings. I'm joining you live here from the UK, where I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator and have been for 6.5 years now. And yesterday morning I didn't have a cup of tea with me. Came off of my live, filled the kettle, put it onto the hob, turned it on, and the electric went off and didn't come on until 4:15 yesterday afternoon. So I'm not getting caught out again today. I have tea with me, so if disaster strikes, I've at least had a cup of tea at this point. But welcome in. Do come on and say hello if you are joining me. It's lovely to know who's here, how everybody is, where you're joining me from. We're going to have a play for the next little while. Before I start playing with... no, actually, let me tell you what I'm going to play with. So I was having a bit of a browse yesterday through the online store to see what we were going to have a bit of a play with today. And I came across something in the clearance rack that I can't believe actually that is still in the clearance rack. I can't believe it's still there. And so it may be something that you've got. If you've got, I hope that this gives you some inspiration to go away and play with it some more. And if you haven't got it, why haven't you got it? Now, obviously, I can't say whether this is in the clearance rack anywhere else other than the UK. Good morning, Beryl. But it is still in the clearance rack here in the in our shop. And it's the Everything is Rosy product kit, and it was fabulous value when it was first launched, but now of course it's discounted. So why is it there? So what do you get in the Everything is Rosy kit? You get a fabulous stamp set. So it's a photopolymer stamp set. It's in its lovely case. It's got flowers and leaves and gorgeous font with some really pretty greetings and things. So you get your stamp set, you get a coordinating die set. So how many dies should be in there? 10. I think I can see at least one that's wandered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you can see you've got some flowers that cut out your stamped images. You've got this really lovely couple of intricate flourishes of foliage that you can just add into your projects, and you get this really nice border die that is just beautiful, and that you can put onto the side of your projects or cut out a banner of some sort or whatever. Just stunning. So that's the dies that go with it. So the Everything is Rosy dies. You get 2 spools of ribbon. Morning, Emily. So this is the Night of Navy one with the rose gold trim. And then you get the Melon Mambo ruched ribbon. And Melon Mambo and Night of Navy are the 2 predominant colours. Now, obviously, I've used my box quite a bit. You get a little pot of rose gold shimmer paint, which is just scrummy. We'll have a little look at those. Those are a whole pile of things that I've made here, some I've made previously. Obviously, as I say, I've dug into mine and we've had this in classes and all sorts of things, but you get some rose gold die cuts. So various ones of those, labels, flowers. You get some printed die cuts. And again, a variety of those. There's some more of the printed die cuts. You get a pack of 48 6x6 papers. Some of which are foiled on this one side, and then not plain but unfoiled on the other. But just look how gorgeous they are. So that's all rose gold foiled papers, and you get 48 double-sided sheets of that. You get some 6x6 rose gold foil. As I say, obviously mine has been cut and tweaked, and then you get these mirror foil embellishments, and they have like a little covering on that you take off to get the most out of the mirroring. They're not looking their best with their cover on. That one's got the cover off, I think, and it's really just beautiful. So Everything is Rosy Product Medley was originally £74, is now reduced to £40.70 for your stamps, your dies, your 48 sheets of DSP, your 6x6 foil, I can't remember whether there's 6 or 8 of those, your gold die cuts, your printed die cuts, your mirror embellishments, your 2 spools of ribbon, and your pot of shimmer paint. It is fabulous, fabulous value for money. And it is just gorgeous. So here's some cards we've made previously using this product medley. There is going to be a really lovely product medley in the new catalogue actually that is really pretty. So these are just some of the projects I've made in the past with this. I don't know why they're particularly tucked away in here, but they are. In fact, there's a card base and a mat there. We might have to use that for something. That's looking as if that's ready to go, doesn't it? Do you think it is? Do you think we should use that? Ready to go for something. We'll have a look at that in a minute. So, this suite is just absolutely beautiful. So if you haven't got your hands on it yet, go and check out the clearance rack. Morning Lisa, £40.70 for everything you need. All you need to add is some glue and some plain cardstock and you're away. And you just need some Melon Mambo and Night of Navy cardstock if you want to coordinate with it. But you could just add in some white and you'd still be able to make some fabulous cards. So everything is Rosy Product Medley kit, and we're going to have a bit of a play with that this morning because we can. The other thing I wanted to show you before I went on, and so I don't forget, is I was having a bit of a play yesterday. This is a class that I'm planning to run. One of the bizarre things about this pandemic was when it first hit was this worldwide obsession with toilet rolls. Toilet rolls just swept out of shops left, right and centre. Nobody could get them. There were people fighting in aisles, all sorts of weird and mad things. Oh, that's fine. You're okay, Caroline. I'm just going to show you this, which is a class I've got coming up, and then I'll go back and show you what we're going to be playing with. I'll go back to what we're playing with this morning. So everybody had gone mad on toilet rolls. So I thought, let's do something pretty with all of those toilet rolls. So what I've created is a toilet roll tag book case, so a little tag album. That's the word I want really, isn't it? So this is an ornate toilet roll tag album that I have created, and you've got all your little pull out tabs in there that you can journal on, put photos on. In fact, it'd be quite fun, wouldn't it, to sort of journal the COVID-19 in a toilet roll tag book. So that's the sample that I did last night. It finished yesterday evening. I shall be taking photos of it, tweaking making sure I've got everything that's needed in the kit and pricing that up. And so look out for that coming very, very soon. So if you're interested in that, that's the toilet roll tag album. But back to today. So today we're going to be playing with the Everything is Rosy product medley kit, because it is still sitting in the retiring list, and it definitely doesn't deserve to be, because it is stunning. So let's have a little look and a little play at what we're going to do with it. So as I say, as I went through my box just now, I've just discovered a Melon Mambo card base, a piece of the rose gold foil that here's one I've gutted previously, a piece of Night of Navy cardstock for a mat, and then we've got this wonderful rose gold foiled zingy paper just here. So that is just waiting to be played with, isn't it? Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. So let's have a little look. What should we do? Yeah, well, keep watching and waiting, Caroline. I say I shall get that. I'll get it sort of firmed up today. I was hoping to get all of that done yesterday, but then of course with our electric being out all day pretty well from, well, just after the live yesterday morning to well, 3:45, I think, yesterday afternoon when it came on. That did mean that I wasn't able to get onto the laptop on my internet on my laptop. I could only do my phone, and my phone was starting to, the battery was going in it, and of course I couldn't charge it, and it was just like, oh, for goodness sake. So it meant that I really curtailed what I was able to do yesterday. But hopefully we won't have that problem today. I've got men outside at the moment filling in the hole, so we shall, that they dug yesterday. So I'm just going to run this. Got my magnetic base plate on and it doesn't want to go straight. Thank you. Let's run this border. Dye through on some card. And then let's tweak that. Snip this end just there. And poke out. I love my new trimmer. My problem is that I lost my scoring blade. So I messaged demo support, and the lovely Chris at demo support, he is an angel, and I tell him on regular occasions that he is, has said, oh, we have got a few trimmer blades in the scoring blades in the office. I'll get somebody to send you one, but of course they're all working from home, so I don't quite know when it will be when I get that. So for now I'm having to revert to my old trimmer to score, but I am liking my new trimmer. I've not had to replace, I think I've replaced the blades once since I've had it. Now, quite like, it's beautiful, isn't it, that border die. Have that coming down there, just to add in a bit of blue to that pink, because that was quite a bold. Bold print on that background. Could of course just have used the spotty side. But we'll have that coming down there like that. I might even oh yes, let's even bring a bit of ribbon in there. This is the really nice thing about these product suites. The product suites don't come with any instructions. So like our other kits would come with, you know, here's serving suggestion. Take that for a little bit more. The product kits don't come with any serving suggestions. They just come as a kit. And what you do with them, oh, it clicks down, so it does, every time you put the flap down, it does click into place. So it does always click into place. Yep. So, but that actually is good in that it doesn't then wiggle, the card doesn't wiggle around. But yeah, everything different is something to get used to, isn't it? I'm going to attach this piece of paper now. To this Night of Navy. that on there. We'll pop that on there and we'll build it up with some dimensionals. But yes, so with these kits, you don't get any, you know, I mean, obviously there's lots of, you can look on Pinterest, you can find lots of things that have been done with them. But it really is about just giving you a whole kit of beautifully, beautifully coordinated products that you can literally just get out, like I've done this morning, the coordinating cardstock, coordinating ink pads, and just sit and play and explore possibilities. Also really, really lovely, we had a get together with one of our little crafty classes not long ago, and I just took this with me. As I said, just took this, and coordinating cardstock, it meant, you know, going out and meeting together. So if you're meeting with a group of friends, I'm going to take masses of stuff, and everybody can sit and play and create their own things, and, you know, fancy folds or just different combinations of papers. And it goes a long way. So I really do genuinely think it is a bargain to be had. We don't want to come this way. So we've raised that up onto some dimensionals. I think we'll have some Night of Navy foliage as well in there. So these are some of the dies from the die set. Another little one. So I could then dig in and use some of the die cut flowers. So if I wanted to do a really quick card, I could just use some of those die cut flowers, but I think we'll get our stamps out. Put those to one side for a minute. And let's see, we'll have this one and this one. Let's take this little piece of flower just here. So let's take these flowers. I'm going to take this big flower. I'm going to take that little spot, and I will take some Whisper White card. I'll get out my piercing mat. Morning, Molly. And let's start with a Melon Mambo. And we'll have some Melon Mambo flowers. I don't know how many of these we're going to want, but I'm going to stamp 3. Give that a clean. And I'm going to take this smaller flower and just using that bit of scrap paper sitting on the side there, don't need necessarily to move it. Or stamp that. Stamp that off and do a paler flower just by stamping off my Melon Mambo. So we've got 2 shades of pink there, just from using the Melon Mambo. I'm going to take this little centre. I could use this as a flower in its own right, but I'm actually going to use it to put a centre in there, and that will instantly makes that pop. So let's give that a bit of a clean up, and then I'm going to take the little tiny centre. Let's find a smaller block for that one, I think. And I think I'm going to go in solid again, and we'll just have some little spots in the centre of there. Morning, Jane. And then we've got some leaves. So again, let's stamp those off and make them a slightly paler tone. And we'll have 3 of those. Let's just put the lid on these stamp sets for a minute, just so that I don't lean into them. And we have a die that will cut out those leaves, a die for the big flower, and a die for the smaller flower. There is also a die that would have cut out this centerpiece just here if we'd have wanted to do that as a separate flower rather than using it as a center for a flower. And let me just cut some of these out. Obviously the first challenge is going to be getting the dies the right way up to line up. But hopefully once I've got it the right way for the first one, as long as I'd move them along in the same direction, we should be lined up for others. Got you. Ooh, it's a bit blustery out there this morning. It's really quite warm in here though. The sun again is quite warm. It was yesterday. Last but not least, do talk amongst yourselves. The big ones are popping out, the other ones aren't. So we'll just wait and get those all out at the end. One of the really nice things that we've got to look forward to is new die cutting machines coming in the not too distant future. And yes, you did hear me right, die cutting machines. And one of them will make these little kits perfect. Be a perfect addition to one of these little kits for going on holiday, because you'll be able to pack it easily in your bag along with your stamp set and your dies and your papers. Just take a bit of cardstock and some glue and you'll be away. So 3 leaves, and a whole bunch of flowers. Let's do some flower arranging. That's always something I've wanted to be able to do properly. Flower arranging. Where's our card? Here we are. So we've got some of our die cut foliage, and we've got flowers galore. So I don't know how many of these we'll want. Have this one coming under here. And then where's that other little one gone? And then perhaps our other. So I think something like that is how we're going to go. Yay, Jane! How exciting! You'll be able to play with that. So let's get out some glue dots and our dimensionals. I'm going to start with a big flower. And so I've raised that upon dimensionals. And we'll have another big flower there. Then going to put some glue dots on the back of this little flower. We'll tuck that in under there. And we'll tuck this one in there. And this one in down here somewhere. I've got these little bits of die cut foliage. Let's put a glue dot on the back of those. And I'll tuck this one so it's coming out here. And where's our big piece? We'll have our big piece coming out over here. And a little piece in here. Really is flower arranging, isn't it? And then we've got our leaves. We'll tuck one in there. We'll tuck one in there. And we'll have this one coming up here. beautiful. We'll have that one in. We'll leave it because that gives us 5 flowers then. Don't want to be going into going into uneven numbers. I'm going to take a couple of these little mirror, put one in the middle of there. If I can get the backing off the top of here. So can you see how that's peeled off, that little plasticky bit? Because that just gives the mirror some bit of protection while it's in your box or wherever you're keeping them all, because they don't come with a box. I've found a little box to pop them in. What shall we have as a greeting on there? Got may your birthday be filled with pretty things. We've got don't let worry spoil your happy. Thank you. Time to celebrate all the lovely things in life, starting with you, dear friend. Congratulations. I quite like the don't let worry spoil your happy. That seems very appropriate, doesn't it? So let's have that in light of navy, I think, on a little piece of Whisper White. Hi Doreen. So we're playing this morning with the Everything is Rosy kit that is still available in the clearance rack, and it's a travesty that it's still available in the clearance rack because it is just beautiful. Let's turn it around this way. We'll just have that in there now. Definitely wants a bit of something around the edge of that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give my rose gold a good old shake. And I've got sponge dauber here. Let's just sponge a bit of rose gold shimmer paint around the outside. Don't need to worry too much about that side. And because that is just a little smidge, it won't take very long to dry. Beautiful. So that is a real zingy gold pink, rose gold, pink and blue creation. I could save one of this little flower here, put a little insert in and just add that little flower into the centre just there, which I perhaps will do. I might even stamp a couple of let's see if we've got a piece of Whisper White lying around. We can just create an insert with. Trim this down to 9.5, so that's 13.9 by 9.5. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that's what I'm looking for. I'm going to take these little leaves and oh, let's clean that up. This inside here, and then we'll take this flower and just pop it on the top. So it is just a beautiful, beautiful kit. So we've got some of that ribbon in there. So we could add in a bit more ribbon if you wanted to, sort of tuck in a couple of little fronds. We could tie a bit of ribbon around the top there, but I think that might be overkill actually. So I think we'll just leave it at that. So there is one very, very pretty little card created with this product medley kit. That is on sale. Have I said that? Have I said, if you haven't got it, why haven't you got it? Just because it is so beautiful. So beautiful. Right, let's go for a sort of turn the colours around a little bit. So that one we had quite a bit of the Melon Mambo pink. So that's, you know, it is very pink. Let's have a look at some of these other papers. So you can see it got really pretty. This has all got foiling in. So that's a really pretty print with foiling in. That's really, really beautiful Melon Mambo flowers on there. But on the other side, you've got this really nice sort of striped navy blue. So you haven't got to have all of that bright pink. Look at that one. Isn't that stunning, that paper? The papers are just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You got that blue. This is the one I'm looking for, I think. This is just stunning. We're going to have a bit of a play with that one, I think. There's the one we've just used with that swirl on. Obviously, here's some little oddments of the paper that I've got going on, because we have dug into this kit quite a bit. Some of the foil. Ooh, might use that. Let's leave those bits out. Here are some of those floral die cuts. So you can see I could have just put one of those on there, and that would have made a really simple card without hardly any effort at all. Could have just added in a bit of gold foiling. But let's have a look at this. Let's cut ourselves a Night of Navy card base. So I am going to have to revert to my old trimmer for this one. So let's cut that at 14.9. Score it at 10.5. Now, isn't that just fab? Just beautiful. You don't need much more than that, do you, really? This paper is just stunning, Karen. Absolutely stunning. It is one of those papers that you do have to give yourself a bit of a talking to in order to use it. It's like, come along, just save one sheet of each. Use the rest. Wouldn't need to do much more, would you? I mean, I could just literally take one of these nice rose gold greetings, stamp something on it. Yeah, perhaps put in a flower flourish, bit of ribbon. Just wouldn't need to do anything else with it, but we will do something else with it. I'm going to take a bit more. So it's all got the rose gold foiling in it. Let's cut this to 14.4 as well, which is the same as our mat. Now, I think I'm going to go with the smaller one actually. How wide is that piece of paper? It is 3.3. So let's make this 3.8. I'm going to cut this down to 13.9. Beautiful. I might use that. I haven't decided yet, I don't think. I might prefer actually, there's a few of these that have got like a solid. Yes, that one. Do you think? That one. So let's just pop out those little holes. So these are just some of the die cut foiled pieces that you get in this kit. This rose gold was so beautiful. Come on out. The die cut pieces. Beautiful. What greeting should we put on there? Oh, let's have this one that says, time to celebrate all the lovely things in life, starting with you. Such a lovely font as well. Lovely sort of nice curly. Greetings. Ooh, there's still one of those stuck in there, look. There's still one that's determined not to come out. Have you gone now? Now we're going to stick with the blue. I think I'm going to stick with the blue. We'll have some blue ribbon coming in round there. wondering whether we want a little bit of no, I'm not sure about that. No, I think I'm going to wrap some of this ribbon around here. So let's stick these pieces together. So this is absolutely, you know, it is, as it always is, real, playing as we go along. What shall we do next? Be interesting to know, actually, ladies, for those of you that are elsewhere in the world, whether this is still on your retirement list as well, whether it's still on your clearance rack, or whether it's just us here. One of the nice things about the kit that's coming in the new catalogue is that they're going to do a refill. So, you know, if there was a refill on the clearance rack, I'd have been very tempted to go and get some more papers and things. That would have been a very definite temptation. But because I've already got the dies and the stamp set, let's wrap that ribbon around that centre. This is really just playing with paper and with I've obviously added in some of the stamp sets, but we've predominantly gone with the paper because it's just so scrummy. Why wouldn't you? I'm going to take a bit of gold foil and I'm going to cut out some of this foliage. Looking to see if I've got another small bit of foil. Yes. I'm going to cut some of these foliage dies out with it. And obviously there's no reason why you couldn't sort of bring in other die sets, other stamp sets, other flowers. You can use these elements with all of your supplies. That's not helpful. Where's that gone? Oh, there you are. How beautiful are they? And I'll do one more small one. Everything in threes, or odd numbers anyway. All to do with how the brain perceives things. There is some scientific reason why we need to do things in threes. Let's bring this out. I think I'm actually just going to take there they are, hiding at the back there. And to take my snips and let's just cut out some of these little flowers. That's obviously got a bit of a leaf on, but that's okay, because I'm going to then, again, we need to be in 3s and 5s. I'm going to cut around here. And I'm also going to cut out this little flower just here. And we've got a bit of gold foiling on there as well. We'll add that in. There, right. So let's stick these pieces on. I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of our label. Look at that, there's still one of those little spots. Determined to hang around. Go away. Got you. So there's that one. Let's just put a bit of snail on the back of here. We'll have that sitting around there. We'll have that one tucked in behind. Then we'll use some glue dots for these bits. There. Do you think we want a little mirror embellishment on there somewhere? So again, let's take that covering off the top. Got you. To reveal its mirrored glory. And we'll put a little mirror spot on there. Beautiful. So those are two. One's very pink, one's very blue. We could have a bit of ribbon coming under here on the edge of this. That needs trimming down a bit more. There. So beautiful. So one very blue, one really quite pink. But of course you don't have to stick, because I said you don't have to stick with the colours that are there. There's no reason why you can't then go on to use your stamps, dies with any colourways you fancy. So I did quickly grab a piece of watercolour card there. Let's go Coastal Cabana in the background. So I picked out some really brights here. So I'm going to put in a watercolour wash. Put some water down first. That just helps your ink to move around on your card. So that's our watercolour wash. Let's leave that to dry for a minute. Let's quickly bring in some Whisper White card and let's have a look. Let's have this large leaf here. Let's do that in some Granny Apple Green. Got this funny little leafy thing going on here. Let's do that in some Daffodil Delight. So you can see instantly colours very different look. And we'll have this flower here in Flirty Flamingo. And I'm going to do this little funny little blobby flower here in Gorgeous Grape. And then I'm then going to take my embossing tool end of my Take a Pick and my rose gold paint, and I'm going to add in some rose gold blobs. Should have done this when I finished really, because I've got to die cut these yet, but there you go, just some rose gold blobs. Rose gold blobs. Let's whiz some of these through the machine, die cut them out. Just move some of the ink pads out of the way so that we don't rest in them. Right, dies, where have you gone? There you are. So I want this big green one, and I want these two, and this sort of funny little curly blobby one. One green, one blobby. I'm going to chop those off for a minute. Let's cut out these ones, and then I may need to add those as a afterthought. Oh, excellent, Angie. That's brilliant news that you're getting out and about and doing some walking. You can catch up with me anytime. And that's a huge achievement, so fabulous news. We're playing with the Everything is Rosy medley kit, which is actually still on our is still on the clearance rack here in the UK. I was just saying I don't know whether it is elsewhere, but it certainly is here. Right, last of these flowers being die cut now. Oh, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Now come on, I know that one way you fit beautifully because we've already die cut lots of flowers, so stop messing about. Just having to move the dies round to get the right orientation for them to match the flowers. Doesn't doing them in a different colour suddenly give a whole new life to them. They just look different again. Thank you, Angie. Right, let's see if we dare now die cut our blobby little purple bits. Squash them down a little bit, but not too bad. I think I'm going to fiddle about with those in a minute. Let's just put the rest of this together and then you'll be able to see where it's going and how I'm going to finish it off. So we have our watercoloured background. We have our bright coloured flowers and leaves. I'm going to pop these centre pieces in here like this when I've die cut the other two. I think we'll have, oh, there's my pile of cardstock on. What are you thinking? Green and yellow? It's looking rather beautiful, isn't it? So you can see where that is going. I'm going to die cut these other purple bits and put them in the centre, and I shall put a picture up with them, the finished thing, when I've finished. But just see how suddenly taking those stamps and those dies, which are gorgeous, with those gorgeous papers, but taking them away from those colourways and using them with something entirely different. So just a watercolour wash, some bright colours to stamp and die cut, building up those different layers, still adding in a bit of rose gold, and I might do a bit of rose gold splattering in the background there as well. But suddenly it takes on a whole new dimension, so just really beautiful. So product medley kit, if it is still available wherever you are in the world, in your clearance rack, get your hands on it, because if you haven't got it, get it, because it is just beautiful. You've got the stamps, you've got the dies, you've got the 6x6, 48 sheets of 6x6 paper, you've got the foil, you've got the mirror embellishments, you've got two, not one, but two reels, I think it's 10 yards on each, of ribbon, yeah, and that gold shimmer paint. So it is just a fabulous collection, and here in the UK at the moment it is reduced on the clearance rack from £74, which was a bargain for everything that you get, and is now just £40.70. So do head on over and add that into your shopping basket. You've got all the die cuts that you can use. It's just breathtaking. So thank you for coming and playing. I will finish off this little card here and post a picture of that, and then I'll be back and we'll play with something else tomorrow.